Welcome to Travel Alchemist. In this video, I'll be giving you some tips for the ultimate budget Maldives experience. The Maldives is an island nation in the Indian Ocean made up of many large atolls. The international airport is just off the island of Mali, and you can get flights here from as little as £250 one way. We flew for £311 each with Etihad. I have a blog post with tips on booking cheap flights that I'll leave in the description. One of the most expensive things about visiting the Maldives is travelling between the various islands and atolls. However, there are public ferries which are insanely cheap. Alternatively, you can stay local to the airport, which isn't as bad as it sounds, and we'll address both options in this video. We were already in the Maldives, on the island of Dhigurah in the South Ari Atoll. Our next stop was the island of Mahibadhoo. Mahibadhoo has direct connections to Mali via public slow boat, which costs just 53 rupiah for about £2.50 each way. And then within South Ari Atoll, there are other public boat services, starting from around 10 rupiah for a trip and stopping at Mahibadhoo. So it's a great island to start or end on, and it's convenient to access other local islands such as Omadhoo or Dhigurah. We came not only as a transit back to Mali, but also because we heard that the house reef here is one of the best in the whole South Ari Atoll. The accommodation on Mahibadhoo was also the cheapest we saw on the whole atoll, and we stayed in a large private room with ensuite and breakfast for just £28 a night. Unfortunately, we didn't have much luck with the weather for the days that we were here, and when we did finally get to visit the house reef, we found that it was mostly dead and bleached, in quite a sorry state, which locals told us had happened very recently. So, on our second day, we took a ferry over to Omadhoo Island instead. This island is far more geared for tourists than Mahibadhoo, with a much prettier bikini beach and many more amenities. There was also lots more things to do here, and in the early evening we walked over to the far east of the island to watch locals line fishing with extreme skill. Then we walked to the South Pier just after dark to watch where the locals clean and gut their daily fishing haul. They've done this on the pier for many years and throw the waste back into the ocean, which in turn attracts many nurse sharks and huge rays. It was amazing to see the locals' connection to the nature, which goes back many generations. The alternative to atoll hopping, as mentioned before, is to stay close to the airport instead. After returning to Mali on the slow boat from Mahibadhoo, we planned to spend 2 nights on Hulhumale Island, the relatively new island which is built to expand Mali and is adjacent to the airport. This part of our trip on Hulhumale was actually very enjoyable. We stayed in a little apartment just off the beach in Hulhumale for £40 a night. And as a last chance decision, we booked a very affordable snorkeling trip for our full day here, which was just $45 each and went to 3 points. Despite being in close proximity to the airport and the capital island, which is crowded and busy, with busy shipping lanes, we could not believe how good the snorkeling was. We saw many blacktip reef sharks, healthy corals, a massive diversity of fish, and also got the opportunity to swim with huge stingrays at a spot called the Fish Tank. It was one of the best days snorkeling we had in the Maldives. On a small boat with just one other person, it was almost a private tour as well. We would highly recommend this company, and I'll put a link in the description. In summary, yes, the Maldives can be expensive if you factor in private transfers, fancy overwater bungalows and expensive guided tours. But there is so much more to this nation if you look harder. And for savvy, budget-orientated travellers, there is lots of information online about public ferries, local island accommodation and cheaper day trips, which are just as impressive. What do you think? Have you got any good tips for visiting the Maldives on a budget? If so, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out my blog at travelalchemist.blog. Bye!